This presentation is an introduction and overview of the GEM standard. The presentation's been broken down into 5 parts. Equipment. One of the core features for monitoring equipment is the GEM collection event notification. And every equipment is going to publish a set of collection events. And these report in real time when things are happening at the equipment that a host system, that a factory might want to monitor. And the ones that you've listed on your spreadsheet, those are perfect. Those are excellent collection events to be published. The board in, the board out, those are very typical collection events. And the collection events are implemented using a publish subscribe method. So the equipment will document a set of collection events that are going to be available to the factory. It might be a few dozen, hundreds, or thousands of different events, depending on the complexity of the equipment. And then the host is going to subscribe to the collection events that it wants to be notified about. And then the GEM interface only sends the messages for those collection events. So the benefit is the host can track exactly what the equipment is doing and when these things are being done. Another benefit is the equipment can publish any number of collection events. And you should be able to publish the same GEM interface to all of your customers because they're only going to subscribe to the ones they want. Collection events are also used for synchronization between the factory. So when this collection event happens, do that type of mentality. So a lot of the control is implemented based on the occurring collection events. GEM also requires equipment identification. The equipment must publish its model number and its software revision. And there's a few different messages that include that. GEM requires documentation so that the factory knows how GEM has been implemented and what features are in the equipment's GEM interface. They can know which messages from GEM are actually supported, and the GEM compliant statement tells you the scale of implementation. And then you want to list the supported remote commands, collection events, and other data collection features that are available for subscription to. Optionally, the documentation can also be provided in electronic format in an XML file called a SED file, SEDD. This is a standardized XML file that provides the same documentation information, but it is in a digital format that can be consumed by host software. And that just makes it easier for the host software to adjust and adapt to a particular equipment. And there's another feature related to the collection events that I mentioned. And this is a data collection. It's called Dynamic Collection Event Data Reports. What this means is that for every collection event that an equipment publishes, that the factory can ask the equipment to send data with that event. And again, this is done by subscription. So the equipment will publish and document the available data, but then the host will choose the data they want with collection events. And this is actually the perfect way to publish what you've talked about on your board out collection event. You have a lot of information that you want to publish about the boards, about the 12 different TC areas and data about that. And that's perfect collection event data that you want to publish. And GEM that's just part of the standard implementation. We'll teach you how to do that and how easy that'll be. For status information, there's a number of ways the host can collect data. And generally that's done through what's called trace data collection, where the host will choose a set of status information that they want to constantly poll, and they'll tell the equipment what set of data that is, and they'll tell the equipment a reporting frequency, and then the equipment will publish the data on a periodic basis in real time. So if the host wants the data once a second, they'll get the data once a second. If they only want it once every 10 seconds, then that's the frequency that they will receive the data. And this is used very effectively by a lot of factories. They constantly monitor different sensor data coming from the equipment, and it just has a wide variety of applications that are implemented. And this concludes part 3 of the GEM introduction. Please proceed to part 4 to learn more information about the GEM standard.